I just finished watching Mashle and it was a really, really good show. I think one of the great things about it that it was so different from that usual cookie cutter formula of most anime tropes. What's so different about it and especially One Punch Man is the main character. In these shows, you always have like these characters that who would in any other anime be the main characters. These guys that start weak, but then they train really hard and they have this insane drive. Um, for the One Punch Man, that's the robot guy, and Mashle, that's the gravity guy. Um, Basically, with these shows, is the whole thing about them being OP as fuck, and then every single person they meet underestimates them, and then you see the funniest thing as they beat the shit out of them. With most animes, you look at One Piece, he's becoming the Pirate King. Every single anime, they start off weak as piss. But they, through all of these trials and all of these hundreds of episodes, you see them gain so much power, so much strength, become stronger. That's what most animes are. Naruto, Dragon Ball, all of that, they have these insane goals. They're extremely weak, but then throughout the entire series, they're training and eventually they achieve their goals. Why? Let's look at One Punch Man. Why that is so popular and cool is because this guy does not look intimidating. He's pretty, he looks like a pretty average bald guy. So whenever his enemies see him, they'll be like, "Oh, you're pathetic," or "one shot you," and then he punches them and he easily beats them. That's the really satisfying thing of watching these guys underestimates them, and then the person beat the shit out of them. So Mashal is basically a show in a world where magic is everything. If you don't have magic, you're basically dead. Every single thing uses and needs magic. They have these little lines on their faces that the more lines, if you have two lines, you have more magic. If you're born without any, that means you don't have any. Basically, the this old guy in the show, he was feeling really depressed. He was about to commit suicide, and he saw a baby uh on the street. And when he went to pick it up, he realized it had no mark. So it had obviously been left there uh, by whoever the owner was and would be killed because of the no mark. Now, I haven't read the manga for the um, Mashle, so I don't know what goes on. It looks like there's this really big, powerful enemy at the end. But throughout the entire show, except for one villain at the end, every single character he fights, he beats with extreme ease, and it's really funny to see. So, firstly, we get to this whole world is basically just Harry Potter. They have Quidditch, they have Hogwarts, they call it different stuff. They have the uh hat that sorts you into names. They have the different houses. They have Orca, they have a Raven, and they have a wolf. Those are the different houses. They call it different names, but yeah. So these houses, so he gets into obviously the Gryffindor house, which is a pretty funny thing is uh, basically the whole his being is centered around cream puffs. That's literally the only thing he thinks about. He's fucking addicted to them. So when the um sorting hat goes to look into his mind to choose a different house, he's just thinking of cream puffs. There's like the running gag around the whole show that he can make them in literally 5 seconds. This man's addicted to it. What makes Mashal such a good show is that every single adversary he goes up against, he beats with so much ease, and it's really fun to see him wallop the living shits out of these pretty awful people. Like at the start of the show, so basically he was found out because he went into the city when he wasn't allowed to, and then the cop that he also beat up. He said if you want to survive, and most especially your father to survive, you need to become a divine visionary. Okay, if you do that, then no one will harm you. So what he does is he goes to Hogwarts, or it's called another name, and he goes there and he tries to become that. To become that, you have to get like a couple of these gold coins, and you have to get like some silver coins to make a gold coin. So at the start, he meets. So there's this guy who's testing, and who gets really annoyed at Mash, because in every single thing, instead of using magic to like lift a boulder or do anything, he will do it with his physical strength. An example of that is when they had to do use the broom, and so we got Draco Malfoy being a dickhead, and basically what happens is he throws the broom extremely quickly, faster than anyone can see. Then he jumps onto it and pretends he's riding a flag, which that was pretty funny. Um, then basically Draco was saying, "Oh, no one can touch me. My uncle's the one of the guy from the magic thing, which is also similar from Harry Potter." Then basically, Mashle proceeds to beat up Draco Malfoy and his uncle, and threatens to bury him. So that's like the running thing in the whole show. All of these people who completely underestimate him. And Mashle's a really nice guy. He only fights someone when they're A, attacking his friend, or B, going to reveal his identity of not having magic. So he's this really good guy that you root for, and then you have like all of these different characters come in as his friends who he has a deep connection to them. He's not the brightest, he's pretty stupid. Like he'll do all of these really dumb stuff that's like obvious that they're wanting to hurt you, or like with Draco, the guy was making him do like all of these menial tasks when and that's what makes him beating the shit out of him um just made me really happy, because it felt so good to do that. And that's basically what he does throughout the entire show. There's these main enemies, which most of them he beats with complete and utter ease. I like it how the show it has one guy who did give Mash a run for his money, kind of, but then he left, and then there's someone that obviously is powerful at the end of the show. So that'll be cool, because I want to see someone that could actually go toe to toe with him. That's what I really like this show. A lot of people are like, oh, the animation isn't that good. People have just been getting really used to Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen. Not every single anime is that good. The animation is still really, really nice. I really like it. I think it was Toei that made it. It's really good animation. Overall, it's just a really good show. I really want new shows like this, that are completely different from the usual "I want to become the Pirate King" stuff like that, and being really weak. I think having more stuff like that would would just be really nice. Yeah, I would like a show for this guy that's OP as fuck, and he just beats up the shit out of every single person. Kind of like One Punch Man, kind of like Mashle. Overall, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.